In the previous video, I built a micro-scale Crown Knights outpost for the world map to give a preview of what this next diorama will look like. To kick off the series, I've now recreated this micro build as a larger scale castle outpost. This outpost sits on the border with the Dragon Kingdom and a volcanic region known as the Ashlands, so I wanted it to have the feel of a gateway to the kingdom in its design and layout. We will start at the right side of the build where the armory is located and work our way left, attaching different sections on until the build is completed. The terrain for this diorama will be in a drier setting, since it is located next to a volcanic region. The inspiration for this terrain type is North Ithilien in Lord of the Rings, which is a dry forest area next to Mordor. It's where Frodo and Samwise first encountered the Oliphants marching amongst the Haradrim. This dry setting is reflected in the walls of this build, with the addition of tan highlights and no dark bluish grey used. There's also no olive green or sand green, since there's no moss building up on the walls. Here in the armory we have a wooden platform inside, acting as a second floor to store supplies. The weapon racks act as supports for the platform. Above the armory is the defensive floor where the battlements are located. We have some racks here for quivers and arrows. There's also a small hoarding attached here, which is a wooden extrusion from the wall, making the walls a bit more interesting to look at. It also sets the tone for this outpost, which is a half stone half wooden type castle, since the idea is that this outpost used to be purely wooden, but parts of it are being upgraded to stone. You'll notice that there are arrow slits within the battlements. I got the idea to do this from the Knights of Rhodes castle in Greece, which I thought looked really cool. It also makes the outpost look a bit more regal, which suits the overall theme of the Crown Knights. The top floor houses a ballista platform with a crawl space underneath to store some ammo. Bordering the Dragon Kingdom, a ballista is needed to counter the flying dragonborn warriors if they decide to attack. In addition to having all the floors removable for interior access, I added a quick access side panel as well, which are locked in place using the corner half-cylinder pieces. We also gotta have some plant vines on the walls for some added detail, but not too much of it due to the dry terrain setting here. Next section is the gatehouse. I went with just an ordinary swinging door here, since this is just an outpost at a far-flung border region, so not too much budget was allocated for a more elaborate design. The doors do have some attachments to hold up a wooden beam to reinforce it from behind, as shown here with a long reddish-brown brick. Above the gate is a larger hoarding for archers to shoot arrows, as well as throwing rocks down the matriculations at invaders ramming the gate. focused on dark blue for the roofing to match the Crown Knight's color scheme, but added some browns to match the weathering on the walls. The next section houses the mess hall next to a kitchen on the ground floor, and a war room above with the captain's quarters. We have plenty of food storage and food prep areas within the kitchen. The dining area is a bit limited, but the garrison here isn't that large, being just an outpost, so it should be sufficient. We have the mix of wood and stone structural elements here to emphasize the wooden outpost being upgraded to the stone theme of the build. The war room also has a mix of wood and stone. The entrance to this room is completely wooden with some dark blue roofing to mirror the look of the hoarding on the front side of the outpost. Above the war room are the battlements and a tower. Again, the tower is topped with wooden hoarding to keep it all in theme. It's also the tallest point in the outpost to station lookouts. The next section behind is the old wooden outpost that the newer stone sections are being built around. Here we have a wooden palisade wall built as battlements and a wooden tower. Under the battlements are the stables with some horses. The theme of upgrading wood to stone will continue as the series progresses, with some wall sections being worked on by some builders. I will be adding a village behind this gateway outpost as well as some barracks to house the guards. This is just the centerpiece for the diorama to start things off, so that I'll have something to work the terrain around in the next episode. I'd like to give a big shout out to our channel members supporting the creation of Scarellis. With a special thank you to Fennec, Brendan Bundyboy Davies, Karnosh, and Kaya Fried Rice 38, our 4 captains of the guards. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.